I'm Animatronic-Artistry, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will discuss what are the Mediocre Melodies based on. This video is an addition to my last video. I'm also trying a new text-to-speech voice, and hopefully, it sounds better than my last one. Plus this voice sounds very similar to Ned Bear's, which is a plus for me. For those of you who may not be familiar with them, let me introduce you to the Mediocre Melodies. The Mediocre Melodies are a group of animatronic animals from Pizzeria Simulator, also known as Five Nights at Freddy's 6. This band is comprised of 5 members: Ned Bear, Pig Patch, Mr. Hippo, Happy Frog, and Orville Elephant. Each member of the band has their unique personality and style, making them a hit among fans of the game. Interestingly, the Mystic Hippo fortune teller is also considered a member of the band, despite not being in the band like the others. It's unclear how exactly a fortune teller animatronic can be part of a band, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's, so anything is possible. Overall, the Mediocre Melodies have become a beloved part of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, with their quirky appearance and personalities. In my previous video, I discussed some possibilities regarding the animatronics in the game and their real-life inspirations. Now, in this video, I will focus specifically on the Mediocre Melodies band and speculate on who they might be based on. As most of you are already aware, Freddy and his band are believed to be inspired by the Rock-afire explosion. In my last video, I briefly mentioned how the main character Billy Bob from Showbiz Pizza could have influenced Freddy's design. However, if we assume that Freddy's band is based on the Rock-afire explosion, then who could have served as a source of inspiration for the Mediocre Melodies band? There are a few options available when it comes to the Mediocre Melodies. They could be a hybrid band, which are a collection of animatronic characters from various brands. Alternatively, they could be based on the famous Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time players, which consist of 5 animatronics known as Cyberamics. These Cyberamics have limited movements and are easy to produce, similar to the Mediocre Melodies. Therefore, I believe they could serve as a potential basis for the Mediocre Melodies band. The Cyberamics have been playing at Chuck E. Cheese's since 1979 and continue to do so today. The Mediocre Melodies have been a subject of controversy among some people who consider them to be rip-offs. One possible reason for this is that they might be based on Munch's make-believe band animatronics, specifically, the 3-stage concept unification stages. Concept unification was the process at Showbiz Pizza Place where the Rock-afire explosion stages were converted to the 3-stage Munch's make-believe band format during the early 1990s. By the way, that is around the same time that the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 took place. Munch's make-believe band has often been criticized by fans of the Rock-afire explosion, who consider it to be a rip-off. Interestingly, the Mediocre Melodies are also called rip-offs by fans of Freddy's band, just like in real life, where Munch's make-believe band is considered a rip-off of the Rock-afire explosion. It's worth noting that despite the criticism received by Munch's make-believe band for being a quote-unquote rip-off of the Rock-afire explosion, they still managed to leave a lasting impression on many people's childhoods. Similarly, the Mediocre Melodies in Five Nights at Freddy's played a similar role in the game and also faced accusations of being a rip-off of Freddy's band. However, it's possible that in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, the Mediocre Melodies are a product of concept unification. The main difference being that the animatronics in the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza restaurant were replaced by Mediocre Melody bots. While in real life, Munch's animatronics use the existing Rock-afire explosion endos. There are many similarities between Munch's make-believe band and the Mediocre Melodies. For instance, Orville Elephant bears a resemblance to the early concept unification Chuck E. Cheese, who was themed to a magician with a wand and tuxedo. Similarly, Mr. Hippo's name is a pun on Mr. Munch, and he is also purple just like Mr. Munch is. Happy Frog has a similar role in the band as concept unification Helen Henny, who is portrayed much younger than her Pizza Time player's counterpart and is the lead and only female singer in the band, and Pig Patch being based on Jasper. The only difference is that concept unification Jasper no longer has his banjo, which is something his Pizza Time player's counterpart did have. Considering the similarities between both bands, it is possible that Munch's make-believe band could have inspired the Mediocre Melodies. However, it is difficult to say for certain whether this is the case. Nonetheless, the similarities are striking, making it plausible that the Mediocre Melodies could have been inspired by Munch's Make-Believe Band, or maybe they are based on the Pizza Time Players, or both, since Munch's Make-Believe Band is an evolved version of the Pizza Time Players. In conclusion, while I may not be entirely certain, I believe that Munch's Make-Believe Band is a perfect match for the Mediocre Melodies. Even the name itself seems to fit the theme. I am not entirely sure if Scott Cawthon intended for this to be the case, but it certainly helped to make these animatronics more popular. Alternatively, it could be that the Mediocre Melodies are simply a collection of characters from different brands, as I mentioned earlier. Regardless of the origin, I have to say that I personally love the Mediocre Melodies, which is why Ned Bear is my channel's mascot. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Animatronic-Artistry. Goodbye.